Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Mueller. I did my internship studying the phenological responses of grapevine varieties to climatic changes in Bordeaux. So my two majors are French and Environmental and Sustainability Studies. I did my year abroad with the University of Bordeaux, and I did my internship at ISVV, which is the Scientific Institute of Vine and Wine, located in a suburb of Bordeaux called Villeneuve-d'Ornon. You can see the office building that I was working in most of the time on the left, and then the experimental vineyards that are right behind it on the right. And I spent every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning in the vineyard collecting data about plant growth along with the other interns, and then the rest of the time in the office building. And the plot that I was specifically working on is called VitaDupt. It was started back in 2009 and has been collecting data since 2012. And so this year in 2023, there were two other interns alongside me, and we collected the data for the phenology of the plant, which is the annual growth cycle. And so we were specifically looking at budding, flowering, and veraison dates. The other two also looked at harvest, and I actually wasn't there for veraison anymore, but I was there for budding and flowering. But my research focused on flowering and veraison. So budding happens in about March. There aren't any models to predict it yet. So not much research can be done with budding because it is quite unpredictable. But budding is an important stage in the phenology of the plant because if it happens too early, the frost in the mornings in springtime can kill the buds and thus also kill the plant's ability to create shoots from those buds. And so then the next stage is flowering, which happens in about May or June. And this stage is modeled in something called the GFV model, which also models veraison in comparison to a date that is calculated by adding up all the average temperatures over a year rather than the calendar date, so that the model can be precise in not only Bordeaux, but anywhere in the world, and so that it can work throughout climate change and changing temperatures. And so I was looking at flowering and veraison in comparison to that model, and I found that flowering is occurring earlier every year, and veraison is still quite mixed, but flowering even occurring earlier means that the grapes are exposed to the sun and the heat for longer, changing that chemical composition of them, and thus also changing the quality of the wine that they will produce. And so this research plays an important role in how vineyards in the region and worldwide will move forward in the face of climate change, and how agricultural practices will need to be adapted. If you'd like to hear more about my research or my time abroad, I look forward to seeing you at the summit.